My group created an educational game that has 3 different storylines. In each storyline, there are scenarios that have multiple response options to choose from. If you choose the most favorable response, then you'll be given points, but if you choose a less favorable response, you'll be deducted points, and you're going to have to repeat the scenario until you get the correct answer. This is the main screen of the game. If you click on the high score button, it'll display the last score you got when you played the game. Since I've already played this game before, this is why it's displaying 70. When you start the game, you just need to click the start button, and you'll be brought to the map, where you can choose between the 3 characters or the 3 different storylines. This is a policewoman, a male nurse, and a girl. When you click on the policewoman, you'll be brought to the location, an introduction of the character, and to the first scenario. As you can see, in the storyline, you start with 50 points, and there's the response options here with the question right above. If you choose the wrong answer, you'll be displayed a consequence, and you'll be deducted 10 points. But if you choose the right answer, there'll be no consequence, and you'll be given 10 points and moved on to the next scenario. Now when you're done with the storyline, you're brought back to the map, and you can either choose to repeat the storyline, or you can go to the male nurse's storyline or the girls. Again, you're brought back to the location, a short introduction of the character, and you're brought to the first scenario. And as you can see, when you get the correct answer, you get 20 points. But if you get the wrong answer, you're displayed a consequence, and you're deducted 5 points. And again, you're brought to the next scenario, the next storyline, which is the male nurse's storyline. And if you click on the next button, you're brought to the first scenario of the storyline. It's just going to take a few minutes, or a few seconds actually, to load. And again, you're brought to the first scenario. And here is a question with the response options, and you can choose which one you want to choose by clicking on these buttons. So let's say I click on C, for example. And it's loading. It's taking a while, but it's supposed to bring you to the next scenario world. First display the consequence, and then you're supposed to move on to, And again, you can choose which one you want. And again, it's taking some time, but we're supposed to move on to the next scenario after displaying whether you're wrong or right. And yeah, that's it for a game.
Our group got the SDG goal of decent work and economic growth, and this is the program we made for it. It's an app called Rate My Job, and it allows users to rate their jobs and give feedback to their companies based on how they're treated and their working environments there. So this is a sign up page where you make an account in order to use the app, and so you'd fill in all of your information. If you try to click accept terms and conditions without your passwords matching up properly, it'll give you a message saying that they don't match and that you need to fix that. If you also try to click that button without completing all of the proper information, it'll tell you to enter all of the proper information. If you press accept terms and conditions, it'll tell you that the account has saved, and then it'll open up the login page where you can input your username and password again. If you also don't have an account, you can click sign up and it'll take you back to the previous page. So if you click login, it'll tell you it did so successfully, and it'll take you to our app's home page. So in the corner, you can see that it says our username, and this page also has all of the app's features. So the first one being creating a new post. It opens up a window where you can write feedback for your company with a title, a location that you can change, and a feedback box. It also has a star rating for safety at the workplace and decent work, so you can rate how good that is there. And there's also an anonymous feature where you can post anonymously or not. So since this is checkmarked and I post it, it'll show that it's anonymous and it won't say my username. But if I create another post, also if I don't complete all of the information and click post, it'll tell me that I need to enter all of the proper information. And if I untick this box and post it, it'll show my username. The next feature is searching. So here you can search for any company that you want that you might want to see related posts or reviews about. So for example, if I did Rogers, it would filter out the search results based on what I'm typing and leave me with a Rogers at the end. And if I click the search button, it'll tell me that I searched for that. And if you click on Rogers, it'll tell you that you've also searched for that and then you can click OK. If you hit the clear button, it'll clear it out and you can retype something. You can also search something using the enter key. You don't have to click the search button. It'll tell you that it searched for Disney and you can continue searching. If you click the back button, it'll take you back to the home page, and that brings us to the next feature, which is commenting. So it opens up a page where you can comment whatever you want under a post, maybe like questions or maybe giving your own feedback. You can clear it out and retype, and then you can add it. It'll tell you that it's posted successfully, and it'll take you back to the home page. The next feature is the Rate Us button. So it brings up a page where you can rate the app on how good it is and how easy it is to use using the slider. You can also write down comments and suggestions for maybe how to make the app better or what's wrong with it and whatnot. Also, if you try to submit this without completing the information, it'll give you a message saying that you should. And then once you have rated it, it'll tell you that it's done so successfully. And the last feature for our app is the report an issue. So this is essentially a bug report page where you can report any issues with the app and you can pick a department. So for example, the posting department has a problem. Also, if you try to submit the report without writing a comment or without filling the information, it'll give you a message for that. So you can write in what the issue is, maybe describe it, and then you can submit it. Once you've done so, it'll tell you that it's submitted successfully. It'll take you back to the home page.
So my app was surrounded around goal number 9, which was building infrastructures. So what I wanted to do was where people could report damaged infrastructures, maybe like roads, buildings, and then state the issue with it, maybe like a pothole. So I have 4 features, which is reporting, which is the main feature, then emergency reporting, which is a sub feature to the reporting. Then we have education hub, where you can learn about the SDG goal in more detail, and the community suggestions, where people can suggest things to improve society in general. So when we run the app, it will come to this screen here, which has my picture of my logo, which is Community Watch. Then it has the 4 features here and the buttons. So for this one, I use Java Swing. So when I press the report button, it comes to this window here. And then when I submit report, you can now write the address of the infrastructure, like, so this is the road, the address, and then what is the infrastructure, so it could be a building. And then you can say the building type, which is Stephen Lewis. And then you can choose the type of issue, so you can say vandalism, cement crack, mold, foundation crack, broken walls, or other. So when you choose other, it'll unlock this this text box here, which you can write another issue that's not been listed. So I can say broken glass window, and then I can write my name. And then when I go to my reports, this button here, it will take you to this screen where you can see your your report. And then when I make another report, and then just make another report, and I choose vandalism, and then now when I do this, it will show 2 of my reports instead of just 1 together. So this is similar to my emergency reporter, as it does the exact same thing, but it just has different issues that are more connected to emergency, so bridge collapse and large potholes, and also the other feature as well. Then we have community suggestions, which you can write your suggestion to the community, saying like avoid potholes, and then you can submit, and then your advice will be here. And then you have your community, and when you press community, it'll come to this community advice tab where you can read other people's suggestions as well. And then finally we have the education hub, where you can choose one of the subtopics of SDG goal 9. So if I want to see 9.1, it will tell me what it's trying to do and its subtopics in that region. So it'll do it for all of these subtopics. And yeah, that's what my code is around. what I would want to add to my code would be a language feature where you could change the language based on where you're from. And also something else that I wanted to do was I could add a reward system where when you make a reward, it will when you make a report, sorry, it will it will give you points based on if it's authentic or not, and then when you get these points, you can redeem them for gift cards, like an Amazon gift card or a Uber Eats gift card. And yeah, that's what my code does.
Hello, my name is Aham, and today I'll be explaining how to play our me, Logan, and Jemima's game, Real Resource. This game is based off an SDG goal to save the oceans, and I'll be explaining how it works. So you start, when you run the code, you'll start here. There's four options: leaderboard, continue, new game, and tutorial. So the point of this game is pretty obvious from the name. You have to reel in and rescue fish and other stuff. And you could start the game. You could start the game by clicking tutorial, and like you can like start the tutorial and understand the game. And this guy will explain it all to you. He'll explain the legendary fish, and like you shouldn't really be concerned with that really. Then this fish, rare fish, which is endangered. Invisible fish, which is just vulnerable, like there's only one of it, and common fish, which is like there's a lot of them. You can catch as many as you want, I guess. And now he's gonna send you into a game. So now you could just like collect pollution like this. So if I collect enough pollution, I could get the bonus. And when I do collect enough, we'll see the bonus when I finish the results. And I could also catch some fish. I'll let me make this easier on myself. So when you click on the fish, it changes color so you can keep track of it, and it starts following your cursor as if it's a hook, and you reel it in. But after a few seconds of it like being like this, it'll just free itself like that, and then it'll walk away, and you have to click on it again just to get it. And then when you click on it, it'll splash and you caught it. And yeah, so you catch as many fish as you can, I guess, but like not too many to the point where I'll show you in a minute why. And I'll just catch them. There's also the invisible fish, as I showed you earlier. It's right there. When you click on it, it'll turn invisible, but that's why you have to click on it twice really fast. See, I just caught it. And the reason this is not like filled up because my computer screen is really small, so sorry about that. And yeah, you just catch more fish, and then when you skip the time, like when the time's up, it'll tell you it'll tell you how many fish you caught, common, rare, legendary, invisible, bags, and bottles you got. And since I got a pollution bonus, I got a 1.2 bonus since I caught a lot of pollution. And I can just write my name here down, yeah, to save the high score since it's new. And I turns out in first place, 948 points, and it organizes it based on who has the highest or the lowest. And you could also click new game, which just starts a new game here, which I can just skip. And it'll just bring you back here, and that's it. And then you can go back to the leaderboard, and from the leaderboard you can go back to the main menu. And what's really cool about this is that you can also go back to the real leaderboard again. Sorry about that. But also what's really cool is that when you close your game and like the game, like when you're in a mid game, there's a pause button right here. So if you want to leave mid game, you could click pause, and let me just set the speed. And then you could save current state. So when you close the game or save and quit, when you save and quit, it just sends you back to the menu and saves the game, and you can just click continue. It'll bring you back to it. When you quit, it ends the code. So when I'm back, see, 33 seconds left on the clock, and that's it. And then there's save current state, which basically saves the state I'm in right now into a text file, which could be read by Java to load it up when you click continue. And when you resume the game, you just keep going. So let's just say there's 13 seconds on the clock, and I have $30. I click let's click save current state, and then just click reset. I click continue, see, 11 seconds, $30. It saves the current state where I'm at. And save and quit does basically the same thing. And yeah, but it stops the code. And yeah, that's all there is to show about our game. Thank you for listening, and we hope you like it.
Hello and welcome to Eco Investor. To start the game off, you must choose a nation to represent. No matter the country you choose, the gameplay will not be altered. So, for example, let's choose Germany. Start the game now. After you click Start Game, you're greeted with a game world. The previous world was Menu World over here. And now we have been transported by using the start button to game world. This is the worlds are changed by using the set world extension in Greenfield. After we are in game world, we are given a budget that is randomized. For this game, we have been given a budget of $500,000. With this amount, you can choose whether you'd like to invest in a windmill, which is $150,000, a solar plant, which is $200,000, a hydro plant, which is $400,000, or a recycling plant, which is $500,000. The goal of the game is to have more money than you started with. To put that in simple terms, for example, let's buy a windmill. After you've bought something, if you have enough money, you can buy more investments until you don't have enough money to buy more. Then you click this blue button that says Simulate 6 months. After you click Simulate 6 months, an update pops up at the bottom of the screen over here, and it shows the value of your windmill. In this case, it went from 150,000 to $149,865, meaning you have lost about $1,000. If you simulate again, you can see that you've gone from 149,000 to 151,000. This shows that you made a gain of $2,000. After you are satisfied with what you have earned, you are able to go into the My Investments world using the same format of going from set world, from game world to My Investment world. You can click the icon of windmill to sell it. After you've clicked that, it takes you back to the world and you have gained the money that you have earned from your windmill. After that, you can choose any other investments. For example, let's now choose a recycling plant. That takes my budget all the way down to $1,363. Now, this game ends after 5 years. So you can continue to simulate up until 5 years to see if you can beat the game. So based off your purchase over here, you will have to have you will have to have a significant gain to bring your budget back. So if we simulate 6 months, you can see that your recycling plant has gone down from 500,000 to 469,000. And if you simulate again, the value is still plummeting at 441. Then you click again, now it's had a small gain and you're at 454. When you're satisfied, of course, you can go sell your product as well. And the aim of the game is to buy and is to buy an investment only once and not rebuy it. So you can't exploit the game and choose the same investment over and over again, allowing different algorithms and different choices for the user to choose. Another feature that the game was intended to have was the load and save feature. So what these buttons would do is if mid-game, as the user felt like they had to take a break to go and do something else, they could click save and it would save their game into a .txt file with their budget being saved, their investments bought being saved, and just how many years that they've simulated. Whenever the user feels like they want to come back, they can restart the game as if they're coming back right here. They can choose whichever country from this menu, and then or choose the country that they were before that they left. For example, we were Germany, and we could start the game, and then we could click load. By clicking load, uh, the game would reconfigure into the details and the way it was prior to you leaving the game, giving the user um, a more fun environment to continue their game from wherever they started from. Of course, through all of this code, everything that's on the game world screen is, of course, an object or an actor. We have all of our actor classes over here, with the back button being specifically for my investment world, button for the start button in uh, menu world, the countries also for menu world, hydro plant, load button, and all of these that are in game world. We were also intending to, after having simulated 5 years, for example, after you would click the 5.5 in quotation mark years, you would be sent to end game world. And in the end game world, there would be a message for you where if you had gained more than you started with, if you had had a significant gain to your starting budget, then it would output congratulations, you have won. And if you have lost money and you have not uh, uh, met to your budget, the game would say, sorry, you have lost. And there would be a restart button at the bottom here for the user to be able to click and restart their game from all the way back.